समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The daughter of Ahmed Patel, once the most powerful Congress leader in the party after the Gandhi family, is today calling for the Congress to wake up to the reality of a new India and a new electorate. This churning within the Congress party follows praise by Shashi Tharoor of a speech made by the Prime Minister at the Ramnath Awards. The warmth shown towards the Prime Minister by Shashi Tharoor is only multiplying questions around whether the Congress may possibly split after the rout, debacle and defeat in Bihar. But instead of introspecting and managing its flock after this defeat, the Congress seems to be plagued by denialism. What will happen to the Congress and to Rahul Gandhi after what has unfolded in Bihar? In a moment from now, we'll be talking to veteran journalist and author Rasheed Kidwai. I'm Barkha, you're with the Mojo story. The Bihar defeat has left the Congress and the RJD, but in particular the Congress as the country's opposition party, in a state of shock, but also in a state of denialism. There are now murmurs about how Rahul Gandhi actually dragged down his ally Tejashwi Yadav by focusing far too much on the vote chori issue, vote chori allegations that never became an electoral issue in Bihar. There are now also murmurs that other regional parties, for example, the Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh, may have got a warning from the Bihar result and may not want to tie up with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party. You would imagine that the party would consider itself to be in a state of crisis. But instead, what has followed the Bihar result is a state of denialism. It is an introspection, but distraction in the Congress party. And as senior journalist Rasheed Kidwai wrote in a piece for NDTV, the Congress is still fixated not on defeat and how to win elections, but on who its Rajya Sabha aspirant should be. What Rasheed Kidwai calls the Jai Jagat gang. Meanwhile, Mumtaz Patel, the daughter of Ahmed Patel, is among those who has gone public with her concerns that the party is not in sync with a changing India. Shashi Tharoor and the Congress party now have been at odds for many months, ever since his advocacy of Operation Sindoor. And in these images on your screen, you see Mr. Tharoor applauding a speech made by the Prime Minister, an applause that the Congress and its spokespersons have officially objected to. What happens to the Congress and Rahul Gandhi in the aftermath of this debate, this defeat? Let me welcome to the program our newsmaker today. Rasheed Kidwai is with us, well-known journalist and prolific author, and somebody who really does know politics in the Congress party in particular like the back of his hand. Thank you so much, Rasheed. Let's start with your ndtv.com column, where you basically say that instead of introspection, the Congress is obsessing about Rajya Sabha seats, how to manage Rajya Sabha seats. And there is what you call a quote-unquote Jai Jagat gang in the Congress party, which is rather an intriguing phrase. What is happening? Who is this Jai Jagat gang? Or Congress mein abhi kya ho raha hai? One would think that there would be great depression, great introspection, but something else seems to be going on.
Yeah, so thank you, Barkha, first of all, for your kind words. Perhaps I don't deserve it. You have raised many issues, and let us address one by one in this course of conversation. First of all, I think the Congress story post Bihar is either underplayed or exaggerated, in the sense that is Congress dying? No, the Congress is very alive and kicking in that sense. The news of its death is highly exaggerated. That's, I'm just paraphrasing someone else's quote. But thing is there is a mood of depression, anxiety, it's far from it. It's, sab chalta hai approach. And people are very sort of, I won't say happy, but they think it's all right. It was, Tejaswi who didn't click. So there is no sense of, loss or remorse or sense of despondency. Perhaps workers have that, but as far as the leaders, middle rung leaders are concerned, they are quite, and there is a lot of typical that turf war is going on. Who's going to be the GSO, the general secretary in charge of organization? What is, KC Venugopal going to be projected as the chief ministerial face in Kerala ahead of, or much to the, a dislike of Mr. Shashi Tharoor? What will happen to Shashi Tharoor? Will he go out? And most important, basically Rajya Sabha berths, because there are, as you know, there is Rajya Sabha elections are due early next year. Barkha, in political life, political parties, they observe this, so to say, inauspicious time, sometime toward the end of December till 13th, 14th of January. So nothing much would happen. There will be no movement. And in February, these names are announced for Rajya Sabha. So each state, there is a huge clamor. And that is where I think lies the strength of Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party leadership, what we call it Congress High Command, because they have a, power to, reward, give Rajya Sabha berth. There are very few, but in the 9 of them, there are like 20 or more aspirants are there. See, Barkha, I know you refer to it. The Prime Minister is talking about a possible split in the Congress. Now, that is not going to happen, because there are only 2 ways to split a party. One is, you need to get some kind of, organize the requisition meeting the way Indira Gandhi had done or Arjun Singh had done every time the Congress split. But nobody can get even 10% of signatories, 10% of AICC delegates. That's exactly the kind of votes that Shashi Tharoor got. But I don't think Mr. Shashi Tharoor getting 10 or 15% of AICC delegates on his side. Second, more important thing, Barkha, and more practical, how do you run that party? You need crores and crores of rupees. Who's going to fund it? So these are the 2 problems that, that are preventing a split since 2014. Off and on, people have talked about it. They have toyed with this idea. But every time, because the Congress, organizational control is in the hands of Gandhis, firmly in the hands of Gandhis. And B, there is no money to run a political party.
Now, you've made a lot of different points. Let's start one by one. You said that the Congress's performance is either being underplayed. So either its poor performance is being underplayed, or its defeat is being, or the ramifications of its defeat are being exaggerated. Explain that comment, Rasheed, if you will, because the point is that if the Congress continues to perform in this manner, no regional party will actually want to tie up with it. And today it can put the blame at the door of Tejashwi, but he can do the same for the Congress party. In fact, many people believe that vote chori clearly failed as an issue in Bihar, and Rahul Gandhi wasted a lot of campaign time by focusing on it.
So, Barkha, actually, if you look at Bihar, since 1989, the Congress has been out of power. The last government was Bhagwaj Azad government. And since then, the Congress is dependent on a ally. So, if DMK does well in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, the Congress will have some kind of, slice of power, or they will have some MLAs and MPs. The same applies to, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So in that case, see, had Congress performed very well, it would have been very, inconsequential, because the Congress has been a 4th or 5th or 6th political party in Bihar for a long time, for decades. So therefore, it's not actually, it's not something that they performed too badly. If you look at their, 2010 record when UPA was in power.
No, but they contested many more seats. Even people like Yogendra Yadav, who are Congress supporters, effectively, or at least Rahul Gandhi supporters, they are today saying that the Congress should have behaved like the tertiary power it is in Bihar. Secondly, Rahul Gandhi went missing from the Bihar campaign in the middle. He was seen to be upset with Tejashwi Yadav. Thirdly, from the RJD perspective, there are those who believe that Rahul Gandhi wasted too much political time, energy, campaign time on this vote chori SIR issue. It turned out to be a non-issue in electoral terms. Do you think that the Congress ran a poor campaign in Bihar strategically?
Well, I think, Barkha, theoreticians like Mr. Yogendra Yadav has a caliber and a intellectual heft to explain everything and anything. Me, and I would include you, we are not equipped so much of in that kind of, talent. it was, primarily, RJD election, a Tejasvi election. Rahul Gandhi, even if he had spent every single day there, it would not have. In fact, that was the time when Rahul was doing this, vote chori yatra, and it was pretty successful. People in Bihar felt, Mahagathbandhan leaders felt that Rahul Gandhi was trying to overshadow Tejasvi, and in fact, there was some call between Lalu and Sonia Gandhi, etc. And Rahul sort of, withdrew quietly and, allowed a person, a real face of Mahagathbandhan of Tejasvi to run that campaign. I admit this point that Rahul is a very poor alliance leader. His level of communication with Mamata Banerjee, with Arvind Kejriwal, with Akhilesh Yadav, with Tejasvi Yadav is quite, poor. And therefore, I think the Congress, but look at, no one else is doing that kind of alliance talk in the Congress the way Sonia Gandhi did throughout the, UPA time. Mr. Kharge is equipped, but somehow he doesn't do it. And there are a lot of people who were former ministers in UPA, who are part of Congress, who have that kind of heft and skill to do it, but somehow they are not employed. So that's the, Congress story. But what is most intriguing part is that the Congress is not unduly worried. वो गर्द झाड़ दिया in the sense, okay, ठीक है, they didn't perform too well. Now that is something that is not known so much to the outside world. There are a lot of organizational problems are there. You look at Priyanka Gandhi. You would agree, and she's a very effective campaigner, person with some kind of consequence and heft. For 10 months, Barkha, and I repeat, it's more than 10 months that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has not been given any assignment, work allocation, in the sense that she's General Secretary, AICC General Secretary, but not looking after any state or any.
And why is that? And why is that? Why is
it
that?
is for the Congress party to explain. I'm just saying that this is the thing. The Congress is being, all the time you've heard Prashant Kishore and others, when Prashant Kishore was talking to Congress, that there is a need for central election management, some kind of panel or 24/7, some kind of setup. Now that has not taken place. The Congress continues to outsource even the selection of candidates, etc. There's a talk of GSO, in the General Secretary in charge of organization, that is Mr. K.C. Vedugopal, has been there since 2019.
So if the Congress continues to have a sab chalta hai attitude, even if it's not dying right now, won't successive defeats lead the party to a place of political marginalization? I won't say death, but marginalization.
So in Congress scheme of things, Barkha, the real test is in Kerala. If Congress fails to win Kerala elections this time, then obviously there are going to be a lot of questions, because that is their territory. The Congress is first among equals when it comes to the Kerala state politics. So that is where I think it's being watched very closely. What will K.C. Venugopal do? What will Shashi Tharoor do? How will Congress? And Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been a former MP from there, and Priyanka Gandhi is the current MP. So all stakes are there high. So it is, I'm not shifting a goalpost, but I'm saying the real test of Congress is going to be 6 months down the line, when Assam, Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala elections will be out. Tamil Nadu alliance, Bengal, how the Congress performs, in the sense that whether it will harm or hurt Mamata or do something else. All those questions are there, but the real test of Congress is in Kerala.
Since you mentioned Kerala, let's come to the riddle that the Congress is faced with, the riddle of Shashi Tharoor. It is a riddle because it is a question without a clear answer. Clearly, there is a rupture in the relationship. Now, Congress leaders publicly criticize Shashi Tharoor. They have gone on record to say things like Shashi Tharoor always speaks for himself and not the party. We have seen these comments before from Jairam Ramesh, from others. My question to you is, after what happened at the Ramnath Goenka lecture by the Prime Minister, the shots are on your screen, Shashi Tharoor flanked by Ravi Shankar Prasad and Ghulam Nabi Azad, applauding the Prime Minister at one level, normal politics, this is how politics used to be, but then going on social media to praise the Prime Minister's speech, to in very detail write about it. The Congress spokesperson then react sharply, say we do not understand what there was to praise in this speech. Earlier, his comments on LK Advani led to a sharp rebuttal from the Congress. What is going on here? How much longer can this continue, this status quo?
So, Barkha, is clearly psychological distance is there. It's there for everyone. Problem is that whether Shashi Tharoor is going to act on his own and try to be, Ghulam Nabi Azad of Jammu and Kashmir, but it didn't help. You look at Azad Shah's position in Kashmir, he is neither here nor there. So that is a real challenge. So I think Shashi Tharoor and Congress story is reaching towards its sort of climax. I think next 2 months are very crucial, where one side or other it will be some kind of dramatic action will be there. See, Barkha, a lot depends upon Mr. Tharoor's ability to hurt and harm the Congress in Kerala, because if he becomes inconsequential, like I again give you an example of person sitting on his side, Ghulam Nabi Azad. Ghulam Nabi Azad didn't have the capacity to hurt or harm the Congress, or for the matter the alliance with NC in Kashmir. So therefore he's fallen between two stools. Congressmen say, look, I mean, Tharoor will go Azad way. So that is the thing. If Tharoor can do a Mamata Banerjee, Tharoor can do a Jagan Mohan, in the sense that depriving Congress of victory in Kerala, I mean of power, then that will be when Tharoor has that kind of courage, risk-taking ability. Remember, it is very difficult for him to be BJP flag bearer, and there is no scope for a third front at present between the UDF and LDF. So therefore, options for Mr. Tharoor are very few. And the Congress has a simple wait and watch thing. But I agree with you, Barkha, with each day, with each comment, I think the psychological distance between the Congress and Tharoor is widening and becoming point of no return.
This is what I was going to ask you. At one level, in the beginning, after Operation Sindoor, when he was part of leading the all-party delegations, it looked like there would be an uneasy status quo. But now it is a very public disagreement. It is no longer a diplomatic distance. It is a very public disagreement between both sides. The Congress does not hesitate to criticize Shashi Tharoor. They have personalized their critique by saying he speaks for himself and not for the party. They're almost daring Tharoor to quit. Tharoor is almost daring them to sack him. Neither side it's become about who blinks first.
Absolutely. So, Barkha, in a more pragmatic terms, it is unlikely that the Congress will issue at any point of time any show cause notice to Shashi Tharoor. Now, it is for Shashi Tharoor to decide, and that is why I'm saying we look at the his home state politics and what will he do. So can he do something? Can he create a kind of opening, or he will do what Mr. Azad did, that he formed a political party? Or look at what Prashant Kishore did in Bihar. See, starting a political party in a state like Kerala, where political ideology or political divide is very clear, it is very, very difficult and challenging. A problem with Mr. Tharoor is at 69, 70 years of age, he doesn't have the luxury of time in the sense that Prashant Kishore has, in the sense of fighting 2-3 elections and becoming relevant. First of all, I feel the novelty goes away in the first, election itself. So it is very difficult for. So there are not many options before Shashi Tharoor, unless BJP sort of, takes him, what he is. But then here comes a problem, because Barkha, I think Mr. Tharoor, if you look at his post about Indira Gandhi today, or a lot of his writings and comments, see, he is not on the same page with BJP. It will be very difficult for him intellectually and in terms of the kind of personality that he has, to be with BJP. And I'm not only talking in context of just Muslims and minorities, generally speaking. So I think there are not many options before Tharoor.
But is it safe to say that the Congress will not make Tharoor their chief ministerial candidate in Kerala?
Well, but I think that requires no guesswork.
Yes, that's why I said that part is done. That part of the story is over.
That part of the story is very, but there it is, KCB. Imagine Barkha, state of affairs in the Congress, that everybody, virtually everybody in the Congress is praying that KCB goes to, Kerala and becomes even if he becomes a chief minister, they are all right with it. His popularity ratings, of course, are pretty poor. Today, he was telling me that he has never lost election in Kerala. That is, of course, true. But fact of the matter is people in Congress generally, of all levels of hierarchy, they wish him well, because they want to see back of him as a general secretary in charge of organization.
So if KC Venugopal is so unpopular, is no one conveying this to Rahul Gandhi?
And now, Barkha, you are coming to the the real problems or real issues of Congress. So the Congress looks like what it was, the Congress of, like, say, 90s, or during Sonia Gandhi, and during what it was 10 years ago. But there are a lot of internal changes have taken place. Look at the kind of profile of the Congress party. We all think that Congress is very much wedded to a Nehruvian ideology. I don't think so. I think there is a new, that Ekta Parishad kind of thinking has come in, and that is where I have referred to it. That's called Jai Jagat kind of groupies. And there is kind of people who have made, a lot of them have made, lateral entry in the Congress. Somebody's been a banker, somebody's been someone, and they all have a kind of thinking where they have a very little regard for the hierarchy, age, experience, or the kind of contribution for the party, and they think that the Congress has been run by too many so to say power brokers or people with the people who have made money, all kind of things they would tell you in private, and they think that their recipe, their sort of training program, their recipe is very good, and they talk about language that attracts Rahul Gandhi's attention. They talk about in terms of social justice, inclusiveness, empowerment, all kind of things, and of course sort of global this thing, because Jai Jagat would mean victory of the world or victory of the a kind of global thing.
So before you go any further, the Jai Jagat gang, you took some names in your ndtv.com column that we've identified and put up on the screen. Can you explain the shift from a Nehruvian party to this sort of Ekta Parishad kind of politics? The Prime Minister, in one of his comments on the Congress, one, of course, he said the party will split. The other, he said that it's become like a Muslim Maoist party. In fact, let me just play out that clip. And then come right back on Rasheed Kidwai's coinage of the Congress's Jai Jagat gang. This is the Prime Minister speaking on the Congress party right after the Bihar defeat for the Congress.
गंभीरता के साथ कहता हूं, आज कांग्रेस मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस यानी एमएमसी बन गई है। ये कांग्रेस मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस है, ये एमएमसी है। और कांग्रेस का पूरा एजेंडा अब इसी पर चलता है, और इसलिए अब कांग्रेस के भीतर भी एक अलग धड़ा पैदा हो रहा है, जो इस नेगेटिव पॉलिटिक्स से असहज है। ये जो कांग्रेस के नामदार हैं, ये जिस रास्ते पर कांग्रेस को लेकर चल रहे हैं, इसके प्रति घोर निराशा, घोर नाराजगी अंदर ही अंदर पनप रही है। और मुझे तो आशंका है, हो सकता है कि आगे कांग्रेस का एक और बड़ा विभाजन हो।
So a couple of things there. One, ideologically, he says the INC is now the MMC. It's a Muslim League Maowadi party. And then the Prime Minister says that there is a group within the Congress that is very unhappy with the ideological direction that the Congress is moving in. You have already explained why you believe the Congress will not split. One, who will garner the resources. You need a certain percentage of support to make it happen and so on. But in terms of this Jai Jagat gang, if we can just go back to that on our screen, can you explain who is this Jai Jagat gang and which direction is it taking the party in?
So, Barkha, it is not my coinage of Jai Jagat gang. Jai Jagat is very much visible. You talk to anybody in the Congress and they would say that, because they, when we talk to somebody or we send a WhatsApp message and we say, Jai Hind or whatever, they say that Jai Jagat. So this is a kind of, the Jai Jagat WhatsApp groups are also there, where many of the people you are mentioning, some of them are, of course, my very close and dear friends. They all are there. So basically, Jai Jagat does not have any negative connotation. They have a certain ideology and a worldview which is not in sharp contrast to the Congress ideology. They just believe, for instance, you look at the Nehruvian ideology that I was talking about. Nehruvian was also about mixed economy, about pro-industrialization and pro-industry and all. They think that the industry is basically harmful to democracy in the sense that is a nexus between technology and corporate and all, and they're trying to hijack some kind of democracy. A lot of people in the West are also talking about it. So these are the kind of they are thinking. They don't believe much in this sort of that kind of thing that Nehru built, that Brahmin, Dalit, Muslim, that kind of combination that had. So they believe in some kind of different caste realities, and in every political party, BJP included, Barkha, that kind of churning takes place. The ideological frame of Vajpayee BJP is very different from ideological frame of Narendra Modi BJP. So these are things. So there is a kind of churning. Now, what is happening, Barkha, and I find it very interesting and intriguing, that this Jai Jagat is trying to slowly take over the Congress institutions. You look at many state players, and I would just mention Maharashtra Congress president and all. That many people in the Congress were not even aware that he's a Congress leader of some consequence. So therefore, that is something very alarming, that people who are lesser known, people who subscribe to a particular social order and ideology, and they believe in it's like a thinking club, and they are being put on like a chessboard. They are there on the Congress organization, and that is where, at this time, there is going to be a very serious bid, according to me, to we'll find some of these people in Rajya Sabha. If that happens, because they are already holding very important post and position in the party organization, and 3-4 of them are general secretaries, they are there in the working committee and all. So this is, and they hold a lot of, like a person you are showing, Sachin Rao, he keeps holding a lot of this training camps. So ideologically, a Congress is shifting. That is what I'm saying. The Congress is not of Nehru, not of Indira, not of Rajiv, not of Narasimha Rao, not of Kesari, not of Sonia, but this, Rahul Congress is somewhat very different, and some people are finding it difficult how to sort of, relate to it. But whether they'll go out, or they have that kind of courage of conviction, resources, money, and numbers to, cause a split, I have grave doubt.
But the fact is, you said that the Jai Jagat gang is not, or the nomenclature is not necessarily negative. But in politics, what is positive is what works, right? If there is a series of electoral defeats, at some point that blame will reach Rahul Gandhi's door, because many people who support the Congress have said it is far too left-leaning, in its present avatar, out of sync with a changing India. That comment today has come from Ahmed Patel's daughter, Mumtaz Patel. Right? What did you make of her comment? And it's not only her comment. There are others. There's the Tehsil Poonawala who supports the Congress, who's related by marriage to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. He makes those comments as well. What did you make of Mumtaz Patel's comment? Let's start there.
Barkha, I'm glad you raised this point. Actually, Mumtaz Patel's kind of current status in the party, that actually forced me to have a rethink, that we think that dynasty culture is very bad, and a lot of politicians, Congress leaders included, they basically shape their children political career, and Ahmed Patel was an exception. He didn't do it. But now when I look at the plight of Mumtaz, I think Ahmed Patel should have done it, because now Mumtaz is neither here nor there. You'll be surprised, Barkha, that Ahmed Patel's daughter, she's supposed to be spokesperson, but she does not have a letter saying that you are a Congress spokesperson. Can you imagine? And
why? But why do these things happen?
Because Ahmed Bhai ने अपनी जिंदगी में उसको आगे नहीं बढ़ाया. If he had given her got her a ticket, made her a Congress functionary, like Digvijay Singh has done, like Kamal Nath has done, like million Congress people have done, she would have been much happy. And because Ahmed Bhai, you and me, we knew him well. He wanted to keep his family out of politics, but in her own sort of accord, now that Mumtaz is knocking at Congress door, and she wanted to actually fight election also from Baruch, that seat was given to AAP, and a lot of things have happened, and she's not getting audience. I don't want to name the leaders who benefit from Ahmed Patel immensely. The same leaders are not giving her time. I don't want to speak on her behalf, but I'm just trying to tell you what is the state of affairs, and that is what happens. So now that explains, Barkha, that why politicians in their lifetime want to position their children in some kind of stability, because they don't want to suffer like Mumtaz Patel is. She has a name, she has interest, and I would say that she has got a lot of talent as a Muslim girl, and someone who's very vocal, articulate, who understands, and who's willing worker, and who has kind of regard for Congress ideology, but she's not getting neither audience nor a position, and she doesn't have a platform to speak. So this is something, it tells you, Mumtaz Patel's story is a very telling story of the state of affairs in the Congress.
Yeah, exactly. And now, if I were to look at the ideological confusion, as you said, this the sort of the Jai Jagat gang dominating the institutions of the Congress party, the Rahul Congress being a very different Congress from the Sonia Congress, from any other Congress. The point is, what are they thinking? I mean, are they really thinking that, like a victim? The world is against us. We can't win elections in this mahal. Okay, then what? That's what they keep saying, right? So then what?
I'm glad, Barkha, you raised this point. See, they are raising, and there are a lot of people in Congress, some of them are your friends also. They feel that the Congress is doing too much of what Prime Minister was saying about negativity, but there is too much of victimhood. Problem is that they don't have much oil. What do you do to a leader who listens to this? See, politicians, I mean, political leaders always try to, plug a particular line. That was the case with Indira Gandhi when the sort of leftists were dominating, but then she freed herself from that. And even we have seen in kind of, Sonia Gandhi, she was under pressure from all those, Fatedar and Arjun Singh and Natwar Singh and all of them, and from the Congress T and various other formations.
Yeah.
And but she got herself in the sort of say mainstream thing. Now Rahul Gandhi is very much taken in by these formulations. At one level it can be Yogendra Yadav, the other day it is Sachin Rao, third time it is someone else. Alankar Sabai. I mean, I'm reluctant to take more and more name, but this is the thing, and these are the people who have convinced him. That you see, you look at vote chori. Vote chori is a Praveen Chakravarti's baby, and Praveen Chakravarti has been able to convince Rahul Gandhi that elections in India are rigged and there is no point. We will never get justice. Now that's not the view of many people in the Congress. While they agree that vote chori is a serious issue, they think that out of 60 lakh or 45 lakhs people who are denied ticket, if Congress was able to bring Congress and RJD put together, then even 50,000 people are at one place and showed them, look, here are the 50,000 people who have been denied, who are living and who are voters, who voted in 24, but they have not got chance to vote in 25 assembly election. That would have made a very strong case. But that's not a thing. So there is an activism in Rahul Gandhi. Look, if you play a game of chess, you make an opening, you have a middle game, and you have an end game. Like Mr. Shashi Tharoor at another level, Rahul Gandhi and his team also, they don't have the end game. What do they want? Shor macha diya, you draw attention, you get a world attention. Look at his thing. I agree. He's Jawaharlal Nehru's great grandson is entitled to travel abroad and raise. But how much of his travel abroad has brought dividend in domestic politics? Now that kind of a cost benefit analysis is never taken.
But do you think that endlessly nobody will ask these questions of Rahul Gandhi? Do you think there will never be leadership challenges? Even if you say the party won't split, is there never going to be a challenge to Mr. Gandhi's leadership?
I wish, Barkha, I could answer your question. But I'm saying, see, the Congress, and I've told you, I think in your earlier program, congressmen are happy to be unhappy. They are lazy. They don't want to work hard. As I gave you example of Bihar, they have not gone door to door and SIR. They just sort of had outsourced everything. And end of the day, they have a very convenient ploy. हम क्या करें? हमारे पास राहुल गांधी है. What do we do?
Yeah.
So if that's the thing, again, the thing is that they know that Mr. Modi has come with some kind of a kind of a political ideology and a personality that they are not able to beat. But and they cannot admit that. So there's a very easy way out. Like they say, Prashant Kishore may have told you, after every election, the secular party say, वो हिंदू मुसलमान हो गया. So similarly, they say, हम क्या करें? हमारे पास तो राहुल गांधी है. So this is nobody works hard in Congress. That's I'm telling you. You look. Can you tell me, Barkha, 10 leaders out of the 40 star campaigners of Congress who spend a night or two in Bihar? I can tell you hundreds of BJP, MPs, functionaries who did that, and state ministers, former ministers who did that. They spent 50, 60 days.
Absolutely. But my point is, how come there is no cost? There has to be consequence for it, right? The one consequence is electoral defeat. But there have to be consequences in any organization. There are consequences for poor performance, for laziness, for indifference.
So, Barkha, if the consequence is a Rajya Sabha birth, elusive Rajya Sabha birth, what do you do? See,
Shocking.
everybody at this point of time is mentally, doing a calculation that who's going to get Rajya Sabha. And, if there are 20 serious aspirants, we know there are only 9 seats. But all 20 would not. I'll give you a classical this thing. What happened when, Mallikarjun Kharge was propped up as a nominee for presidential elections in that October 23. So,
Yeah.
Shashi did it, Shashi Tharoor did it. And look what happened to the rest of the G23. They all, Anand Sharma and Prithviraj Chauhan and all of them, they all went and, pledged their support to Kharge.
Yeah.
So it is not, the loyalists, even the dissidents don't have a sort of, clarity of action. You talk to anybody, whether it's, Manish Tiwari or whoever. I mean, they all, they also have the same problem. There is lack of option. There is no way you can break, as I said, Congress party.
And yet you believe that the Congress, those writing political obituaries for the Congress, are exaggerating the situation.
Simply because
yeah.
we and you, we have academic interest in Congress. You have seen a lot of parties in India and abroad. There is no political party that actually, you look at Janata Party, you look at Janata Dal, you look at several Samaj, that Chandrasekhar's party, every electoral defeat. Look at the left today. They keep, withering away. In the sense, they don't bounce back. They don't become, 44, 52, and then, 99 Lok Sabha seats. The vote share of Congress is about 20%. The Congress is a number one party. I mean, to win as things stand today in Kerala. It has an outside chance even in a state like Assam. It is valuable asset for the TMK in Tamil Nadu. So that makes Congress a very important state. And then you look at assembly election in Uttarakhand, where the Congress is a prime challenger. Whether they succeed or not, what I'm saying is that the Congress has and Rahul Gandhi, look at his own sort of popularity rating. I was talking to Yashwant Deshmukh last month. The gap between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi is just less than 10%. Rahul Gandhi is 41 and Narendra Modi is 51. Now this is extraordinary. That's what I'm saying. You see, whatever you say about Indian politics, the opposite is true, and that is where I think the Congress will live to fight another day.
Well, I think the big question is, do they want to live to fight another day? Or do they want to fight? They want to live, certainly, but do they want to fight? And I think that is where there is laziness, the lack of hard work, the chalta hai attitude, and also the ideological confusion. Finally, I must ask you, why do you think Priyanka Gandhi has been underutilized according to you?
Well, I think it is for Priyanka Gandhi to answer, but I find it very baffling because I don't see there is any sort of lack of affection between 3 members of the Gandhi family. They all are together and they have they are very close. But that's the thing, and Priyanka Gandhi also needs to have that kind of hunger and that kind of desire to excel. You look at Sachin Pilot, who lot of promise, but he's looking after Chhattisgarh, where it's basically largely a rural, constituency or rural state, whereas Sachin has a very sort of, progressive outlook. He's a very good Congress advertisement for the great Indian middle class. But so people are not given, a proper role. Thing is that you have Shashi Tharoor, you have Sachin Pilot, you have Priyanka Gandhi. So therefore, I'm saying Congress has a lot of potential to quote the great Indian middle class. At the same time, somebody's sidelined, somebody is not being given job, somebody is given a, so to say, wrong job. All these things are there. And that is where I think, we tend to blame Rahul Gandhi, for all this. What is Mr. Kharge doing? He's the Congress president. What is his idea of happiness? To get Rajya Sabha and become leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha. Yeah. See, he is LOP, in Rajya Sabha, and he's a Congress president. Barkha, you know that there is this thing called one man, one post. What was just, I know you're coming to the end of the program. Very quickly, I'll tell you what was the problem between, Ashok Gehlot and the Congress leadership in 2023. The Congress was saying informally that, you let Sachin Pilot become chief minister and you become a Congress president. Yeah. Ashok Gehlot said and did that I'll continue to be the chief minister and you make me a Congress president or not. That is of, I'm not bothered. Okay. Now, Congress thought that it is bizarre that somebody would be a chief minister of Rajasthan and will be a Congress president. But you have a situation where Mallikarjun Kharge, since 2023, is Congress president and leader of opposition, and he'll again become Rajya Sabha. So again till his term is there 2027, he will continue to be Congress president and the leader of opposition. So that's the thing. So everybody is guided by Gandhi or non-Gandhi is guided by self-interest.
Absolutely. In the end, absolutely good questions about Mr. Kharge. But what is that one word that you would use to describe the mood in the Congress today?
I think I did that. They're happy to be unhappy.
Yeah. Well, that has to be the phrase of the day. The Congress party happy to be unhappy. Jab tak chal raha hai, chalne do, seems to be, I think, the attitude. And Rasheed, thank you. You always distill politics for us in a most accessible and funny and fun way, and incisive as well. So thank you. Great pleasure talking to you. And as they say, watch this space and we'll have you back for more soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.